Good morning. It is a snowy day in Denver. Look at this beautiful, beautiful snow. This actually has kind of inspired me. I'm like, maybe I should get some fake snow and do a snow shoot in my office. So who knows? I might do that. So there are different types of cloudy days, and obviously you know that. In Missouri, most of our cloudy days are really thick, gloomy, dreary, all the colors get really sad. But here in Colorado, with this kind of cloudy, which my uncle said it's cloudy like 5 days out of the year, which is amazing. The approach to it is way different. And I wish I had a shoot here today so I could show you. When you're shooting on a cloudy day like this, you actually have to watch for the highlights getting really blown out, and it can be deceptive because you miss the background because it's all white. But at the same time, it creates this nice blank canvas. So shooting on a cloudy, snowy day, the first tip would be to still look for the sun. Where is the sun at? Because that's still gonna be your best direction to shoot in. And you can illuminate their face with the side of the sun. And of course you can turn it around and whatever, but there is still better light on snowy days. There's just a ton more flexibility. That's my first tip. I need like a mirror. My second tip would be to underexpose a little bit so that you don't blow out your highlights and lose all the detail in the snow. My third tip would be to not shoot everything with a blur, because the nice thing about a snowy day is that everything, it creates a really blank canvas, but you'd also be able to photograph things in a way that you couldn't normally. So by keeping more things in focus, you're just gonna tell like a different story. Tip number 4, when you're editing on a snowy day, I like to bring down my highlights, but only bring down my highlights or my whites typically. It kind of depends on the day and how it was shot, but I want, the detail to not get totally lost with the white, but also, I still want it to be white. I don't want it to look grungy. I don't want the whites to look grungy. So the other thing is tip number 5, avoid split toning on a snowy day, because that will not turn out super great. And it'll just make, let's say you were putting some yellows in your highlights, some blues in your shadows. You could still do blues in your shadows if you wanted. But on a snowy day, I just think it's nice. You're not gonna have a ton of greens or anything, so just edit with a really simple color grade, and it'll be pretty. Edit for the skin, obviously. Is that tip number 5? I think it was tip number 5. Guys, I don't even know what number we're on. Shoot. My next tip, I don't know what number we're on, would be to use fake snow. And I've never done this before, but from my experience with shooting the snow, once the snow gets in the hair, it melts the hair. It doesn't melt the hair, it melts the snow. The snow melts in the hair and makes it just look really wet. So I think if you had some snowflakes that were stuck in the hair, it would just make the hair look more normal. And then you're also not rushed to get a shot before the snow melts. When it's super windy, shooting into the wind will work. That way the hair is blowing towards you, or having them shoot where they're facing the wind. Have them turn around so their hair is whipping down here. Hats are also really great on a windy day for the person that you're shooting. That way it kind of keeps the top part of their hair in place. I'm recording a video while I do my makeup. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Well, I definitely feel refreshed.
Do you think you could land a plane between my eyebrows right now?
A
little bit?
Maybe a Cessna?
Yeah.
Not a...
Maybe if you had a lit runway.
Yes! Yeah, we missed it.
What am I missing?
Jewels.
I could make that work. Should I draw a plane on my eyebrows?
You should.
I was thinking about asking a makeup artist to do that and for a video. I think it'd be so funny. Have her draw a plane between my eyebrows. It's it's true, you could.
I have a little Hot Wheel plane downstairs.
Do you really? I can glue it on. Okay, next two tips would be to bring up the saturation in post or just go with a really muted palette. I like a little bit more drama in my photos, so I'm gonna go with more color. The other thing I really like to do is bring my shadows and my blacks down to just create like a really rich contrast in the image. And then obviously we've got the highlights and the whites that we've already fiddled with. So our blacks are gonna be safe. You know, if you press the J key in Lightroom, they'll be safe, and then the highlights will too. If you've got really big snowflakes, then keeping everything in focus is gonna be easier for, you know, whenever you need to nail the focus on your subject. It's a little bit more challenging to, you know, keep things blurry, and you'll miss some of the snowflakes too. It can be really pretty, but you just wanna be, or I prefer to be closer to my subject if I'm gonna keep everything blurry, keep my aperture down at like 1.6 or something when I'm shooting a subject. You're doing your makeup wrong. It's like, I know. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos. Share your work with the world because only you can see the world the way that you do. Cheering you on. See you in the next video.